Here's another story from my time living abroad, and this one is a dating story for the ages. Like a lot of people, I was on a dating app, hoping to find a serious relationship. I matched with this guy who seemed totally normal, smart, and he lived nearby. His photos were nice, so I thought, why not? I suggested he drive over to my village. We could grab a drink and see how things go. He agreed immediately and drove over in his car. He parked, and we met up in the main square. To start, I figured a nice walk around the village would be a good icebreaker. As we were strolling, we passed by the local church, and right next to it, the cemetery. Suddenly, he stops, looks at me with intense seriousness, and asks, "Why are cemeteries always placed at the highest point of a town, next to a church?" I was a little taken aback. I just stared at him, and he took my silence as an invitation to answer his own question. He launched into this incredibly detailed, professional-sounding explanation that went on for quite a while. It was like listening to a university lecture I never signed up for. That was red flag number 1. We continued our walk and came across a woman feeding some local cats. He immediately recoiled and announced, "Oh, I'm allergic to cats." And that wasn't all. He then went on a 10-minute rant about how he dislikes all pets. He said keeping them at home was unhygienic, a source of bacteria, and just generally a bad idea. He was so passionate about it, arguing against pets as if he were in a debate. I'm a huge animal lover, so you can imagine how I was feeling. Listening to him go on and on, I was just thinking, okay, this is interesting. That was red flag number 2. After the pet-hating monologue, I thought a drink would definitely help. We went to a local brewery, one that makes its own unique beer. Because of COVID restrictions at the time, they had these clear plastic dividers on the tables between people. He sat down, tapped the divider, and then looked at me with that same intense expression. "Do you know what this plastic is made of? How is it manufactured?" Again, he didn't wait for me to answer a question I couldn't possibly know the answer to. He just launched into another long, technical explanation about the properties of whatever plastic it was. The whole time, I'm just sitting there trying to enjoy my beer while he's giving a TED Talk on polymer science. We were supposed to be getting to know each other, but so far the topics were cemeteries, pet hygiene, and industrial plastics. Red flag number 3, and we are not even an hour in. The entire time we were together, which ended up being almost the whole day, he didn't ask a single question about me. Not about my job, my hobbies, where I'm from, my dreams, my favorite color. Nothing. It was all him, a constant stream of information on topics that had absolutely zero to do with a first date. I was just there, nodding politely and listening because honestly, what else could I do? It was so clear this was going nowhere, but I was trying to be nice. When the bill came, I took out my wallet to pay for my beer. He looked over and asked, "How much is it?" I told him the price, and he waved his hand dismissively. "Oh, don't worry, I'll get it. It's very cheap." The way he said it felt less like a kind gesture and more like he was evaluating the cost-effectiveness of our date. I had spent hours listening to his unsolicited lectures, and his big romantic gesture was covering my very cheap beer. I mean, thanks, I guess. Finally, the day was over. He walked me back towards the square where his car was parked. We said our goodbyes, and it was all very friendly on the surface. We even hugged as if everything had been completely normal. I thought, okay, phew, it's over. I turned to walk towards the supermarket, which was just off the square. He must have seen me walking in the same general direction as him, because he suddenly spun around with a look of genuine alarm on his face and said, "Where are you going?" I was completely baffled. I just looked at him and said, "I'm going to the supermarket." The look on his face told me everything. He actually thought I was following him. Following him. After the day I'd just had, I was the one being polite and normal, even though he was the one making things incredibly awkward with his bizarre conversations. He was the weird one, but in his mind, I was the one acting suspiciously. The irony was just staggering. Looking back, I probably should have just walked away after the cemetery lecture. But at the time, I was working remotely, didn't know many people in the area, and it was my only day off. I was lonely and just wanted some human interaction, even if it was this. I think that's why I let it go on for so long. It was a lesson, though, a big one. We don't have to sit through situations that make us uncomfortable just to be polite. It is okay to set boundaries and walk away from a date that feels more like a strange, one-sided seminar. My time is more valuable than that, and honestly, yours is too. So, that's my crazy dating story. Have you ever been on a date this awkward? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear that I'm not alone. And if you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more tales from my life abroad. Thanks for watching.